All right.
All right, Robbie. So you want to talk about the manatees? What's going on, buddy?
I do. Florida's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission reported last week that between January 1st and July 2nd of this year, they have recorded 841 manatee deaths. So the last time that there were that many deaths was in 2013, when 830 manatees died, and that was over the entire year. So
Oh,
these are big animals, and when they rescue and rehabilitate them, it's a very lengthy process. We're talking weeks, months, up to a year. So the issue this time around is that they are starving. Their principal food source, seagrass, is being choked out by algae blooms. And algae blooms result as
yeah,
with
they're a
higher
huge problem in
temperatures,
Florida.
and exactly with nitrate-based fertilizers. So you find them around a lot of chemical runoffs, golf courses, anything that might use a chemical fertilizer. And algae blooms are an issue internationally. So the direct impact this time around is that while the water becomes cloudy and as because of the reduced sunlight, the main food source of these beautiful mammals is being disrupted. Um, it should be noted that boat strikes are also a major cause of manatee deaths. So this year, of the 841, 63 have been as a result of boat strikes, but the rest is due to starvation because of the poor water quality and the lack of food. So manatees were once classified as endangered by the US government, but they were reclassified as threatened in 2017, and environmentalists are now calling for the manatee to be considered endangered once again. So, my friends, again, what say you? This is more wake up calls for the beautiful hairless ape that requires more food and pretty lawns. So, Lizzie, let's start with you, my friend.
I think this is a subject that one, we need to educate the public of what is a manatee. Guarantee you that the average American doesn't know what a manatee is, where they are, what type of animal it is, where it exists in our wildlife. So I think once we educate people first and foremost, they can start to put a picture to the issue. I think this is something that people in Florida or down in the South, near the coast, they need to start petitioning their congressmen. They need to start petitioning their local politicians about, because this is a man-made issue. This isn't
Mhm.
something that's natural. This is a man-made issue, and it can be prevented
Yeah.
if we take the proper precautions. But until we get the word out, until we start to educate people and let them know specifically what's going on with these animals, no one's going to know or no one's going to care. Like I said to you at the beginning of when we were doing our pre-show, I'm like, Rob, where did you find this? Because I in DC, I had not heard of this at all. This isn't something that people are talking about. So we need to get the word out there. We need to educate people, and we need to, call politicians out for what is happening with these animals.
Yo,
Like
you
just because
expect DeSantis to do something?
I said politician, he's not a politician. Just because there
Florida
are no
governor, by the way.
in DC doesn't mean that we can't call on other politicians in those states, because it can't be just Florida. It has to be other states in the Gulf that are being affected by this, right? And so we need to make people aware of what's going on. We talk
Definitely.
a lot about animal rights. We talk a lot about, wildlife and what's happening. This needs to also be put at the forefront so people know what exactly is going on.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm gonna read Mike Wolf's comment real quick. Unfortunately, the manatee president is telling everybody that's a hoax, and he's actually doing a great job. No, but I think just real quick, I think you know I remember when the manatees were endangered and they came off the endangered list, and I remember they used to be getting killed by boats and stuff.
Mhm.
Propellers from boats back in the day. So that's how I remember the manatees. But yeah, it's pretty sad. I mean, I know Florida is really bad for their pollution in their waterways right now. So it's a lot going on down there. Micah?
I agree with Liz. I think whoever the lobbyist is at
Manatee
Big
lobbyist.
Manatee, yeah,
A big
at Big
manatee.
Manatee, they need to get the word out because the only thing I know about the manatee is that it's the sea cow. But I don't know if I don't know much about them, and if people don't know about them, they're not going to care.
Yeah.
If you make it a mascot on some sports team or something, then
Or
people
a rap
will.
song. Get a rap song.
Right, right. Little manatee,
Who's
little
gonna sing about
manatee
the
comes out.
manatees in a rap song?
But you gotta get the word out.
Back that
That's
ass
first
up.
and
We can sing
foremost.
about a manatee. We can do back that ass up. We can sing about a manatee.
All right. So is it truth, lies, or shenanigans? Truth.
I think it's truth.
Going with
I think
It's
truth.
it's
another
truth.
sad truth, and really,
Sad truth.
Yeah.
we all have personal accountability in it. If we all have choices to make when we purchase products for our homes, for our lives, for our convenience. Is your convenience worth the environmental cost? And if you stop and start thinking about just your average everyday consumption, there's a lot of small changes that you can make that will not hurt your wallet and will make a significant difference in our planet's viability and sustainability. And we are the stewards of this planet, like it or not. We need to take care of these critters.
All right.
It's on us.
All right. Thank you, Rob B.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.